Hey friends, Herman from Alpha One Tactical here. Welcome to another episode of the Alpha One Armory. So today I'm excited to bring you an unboxing video and kind of like first look, initial thoughts of the new Springfield Armory Prodigy. This is a dual stack 1911 or 2011 pistol. That's all the rage right now. Got my hands on one the day that it came out. Haven't had time to post or make this video until now, but I just wanted you guys to take a look at it and just give you my thoughts, out of the box. Couple disclaimers: I did pay for this pistol. No one gave this to me for review purposes or anything like that. So these are just going to be my unbiased opinion, to the extent that any opinion can be unbiased. And the other thing is, one of the few pistols that I regret selling a long time ago that I actually miss is the Springfield Armory TRP operator. I love that pistol. I didn't use it that much, so I ended up selling it. And over the years, I've always regretted it. I always felt like I really want that pistol back. So coincidentally enough, a few months ago, I started thinking about purchasing another one of those, and then that's when I found out that the Prodigy was going to come out. So when I figured out, hey, this is going to be a dual stack, 9mm, 2011 style, I'm like, you know what? Instead of the TRP operator, should probably wait for this one. It looks pretty similar. I don't know if it's a fair comparison or not. It probably isn't. But again, just to scratch that itch, I decided that I would get this one instead. So thankfully, one of my buddies, he's an FFL, and he got one for me. I got it the day that it came out, and I got the 5-inch version. So let's just go down to the tabletop view, and I'll show you guys how it comes. So right here you see it comes in this Springfield Armory box. Let's turn it over this way so we can open it. Here, see this box for Springfield Armory, just your regular cardboard box, nothing too fancy here. You see this little pouch that contains the pistol itself. So it does come with a magazine in it already. I'm guessing this is a 17 rounder. So let's remove that. Looks like, yes, 17 round magazine right there. Let's put that out of the way for now. Let's check, safety check, empty chamber, empty magwell. We're good to go. That slide feels really nice, really solid. It feels probably even a little better than I remember the TRP operator feeling, which already was really, really nice, especially for a production pistol. So that's a good thing. Let me put this away and we'll go through the rest of the box real quick. Again, you have a nice little pouch. I'll probably never use this again, since I usually just have them in my, it'll either always be in a holster or in the safe or something like that. So some literature here, something to read. You got your operator and safety manual, probably warranty information, that kind of stuff. Pretty standard. Couple of tools here, probably for the takedown process, which I won't do in this video. You have your standard lock that they always include here, and here is your 20 round magazine, also steel magazine, dual stack. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's, to me, the game changer when it comes to a 1911 or a 2011 style pistol like this, is that instead of having just your traditional 7 or 8, you have 20 plus 1, which is awesome. Okay, so steel feels nice and heavy. This is one of the only things that I wasn't very thrilled about, guys, is the fact that that's pretty much everything that comes in this thing, that they only include this plate for red dot sight, which basically is only compatible with the hex, I believe. And so I'm sure that we're going to have a lot more options for these for RMRs and delta points and all that good stuff. But for now, this is basically your only option. Again, not thrilled about it, but it is what it is, and I'm sure we'll get more options in the near future. So let's get back to the pistol itself. Right off the bat, feels really nice. Obviously, you're talking about full steel gun here, so you can definitely feel the weight. And then for guys like me who are usually dealing with polymer frame pistols, striker fired, all that stuff, because I usually deal with concealed carry stuff, and that's what I teach and everything. Then obviously this is feels very, very different, but it feels nice. I can't see any issues with just the machining or anything having to do with the manufacturing process that would stand out to me. Again, this is probably not a good, a fair comparison, to compare it to something like a Nighthawk or a Wilson Combat and any of those type of very high end pistols. This is a production pistol, so this is on the high end of production pistols. It feels it, definitely. It looks it, and yeah. So a couple other just observations here. I can feel the grip here. The texturing is really nice. One of the things that I do remember about the TRP operator was it had the checkering, and it was all metal. And man, it tore up your hands big time. I mean, after just a day of shooting, I put it through a class once, and it was just pretty brutal. Now that thing did not come out of your hand, but yeah, I mean, your hands were basically shredded afterwards. So this feels really nice. It feels like it's really grippy without being too aggressive. So I like that so far. Looks like they even added some of that right here in the front part of the trigger guard. So I know some people do get their fingers over there, depending on the size of your hands. You might need to. So it's a nice little detail to have that on there as well. Again, this is a double stack, so you can see this is a much wider magazine well as would be expected, right? So you definitely can feel the difference here in just how much wider it is from a traditional 1911. I don't know if any of the rest of the pistol is wider. I don't see why it would be, but the grip definitely is, and you can feel it. So if you're used to a traditional 1911 style grip, then it's definitely going to feel a little bit, different to you. So you have your standard grip safety that most 1911s, 2011s have. You have your magazine release button right there. Your safety off, on, feels very nice and positive and crisp. I like that. And then moving on to the trigger here, let's check it out. Traditionally, 1911s, 2011s are known for just how nice their triggers are. I mean, they're basically on rails. You can only press straight back, and they feel really nice. I have some grease on me already here. So let's see what that feels like. There's some loosey-goosey right here in that take-up. There's the wall, and then pretty nice. Not completely mind-blowing. Let's see that reset. Very short reset. Pretty positive, but again, probably better than your standard polymer striker-fired pistols, but definitely not like your top-end, race guns. But it's definitely nice and nicer than your traditional carry pistols. So for whatever that's worth. Nice. So skeletonized trigger, skeletonized hammer, pretty nice. Again, the action slides really nicely, really smooth. You can see a really nice crown right there. So you have your elevated sights. I don't know if there would technically be considered suppressor height. I have several of suppressor height sights, and they feel like they're taller than this, but they're definitely taller than just your standard height, standard sights. Blacked out rears, which I like, with texture, and then you have your fiber optic and green at the front. So really nice. And then obviously you have your plate up there for that red dot sight that's only available through, I believe, Springfield Armory. So I don't know. Again, not a big deal. I'm sure we'll have plenty of options soon, but I'm unfortunate that I couldn't just throw on one of my RMRs on there. And then obviously eventually, we'll be putting a light on this. It has almost a full rail. If you guys know the TRP operator with the full rail, looks almost like a Terminator gun that goes all the way through. In this case, it doesn't, but it looks a little bit more like a traditional 1911. I really dig it. 1911 rail all the way back. So again, I will definitely be putting a light on this, and I will definitely be putting a red dot on this. Again, that just adds that much more weight. We'll see just how heavy we can get this thing with all of that plus 20 plus 1 rounds in it. So that's going to be interesting. Slide lock, very easy to manipulate. Feels really nice and solid. Everything just feels really crisp, really solid. So very impressed with it so far. So basically, you know, what else is there to say? That's basically what it looks like. So far, I'm impressed with how it feels in just the manufacturing, the options, the features, that kind of stuff. Everything looks good, but ultimately, everything comes down to reliability. So I really don't have any safe queens these days. Everything that I own is used for teaching purposes. I'm either using it for demonstration. I'm teaching them in during a class. They are either rentals or loaners for students, all that kind of stuff. So once I put it through its paces, I'm going to determine if there is a secondary, use for it. Would I even be able to trust it as a nightstand gun for home defense or something like that? I don't know. So reliability for me is everything. So if I can actually trust it, and it doesn't have a ton of malfunctions and a ton of issues out in the field, out in the range, then at that point I would make that determination. So I'll probably put at least 1,000 rounds through it before I come back to you guys and just give you my kind of like my final thoughts as to is it worth it? Did they do a good job with this? I think if it works, then this is a great option. To have a classic, pistol like a 1911, but now having the option of shooting it in 9mm, which is cheaper and more plentiful availability, and with now having the options of red dot sights and all that kind of stuff, and with a rail, I mean, it's really taking it into the 21st century. So I'm excited. I really hope for the best for this pistol. I hope that it really does have the reliability that I would want for something like this. But if it doesn't, then obviously we have to do the responsible thing and let people know. So stand by for that. Again, it's probably going to be a while before I can do a follow up on this, but stay tuned. Thanks.